How's it going, welders on YouTube? So this video is going to kind of explain the thought process of programming. Now we're going to get into the nitty-gritty, the step-by-step for programming, but the thought process is important before you even start so you can kind of get the gist of the right things to do. So first and foremost, whenever you have a program, you want to start it above the part. And then as you move the robot arm around, you want to make sure that when it moves, that it'll clear any clamps or move in such a way that it doesn't damage anything. And when it comes to the actual movements that the robot can make, there are three types. There are joint movements, linear movements, and circular movements. Now you just have to kind of understand the basic concept of each. A joint movement gets you from A to B, but it's not that accurate. So, you know, a torch angle change would be a joint movement. Then a linear movement is a movement in which the robot is doing work and it's far more accurate. So linear movements are going to be like where you're welding. And lastly are the circular movements. And those are also where the robot is doing work, and you know, it'll follow circles, arcs. It could even do an infinity sign if you create enough points. But I'll get into how to find those on the controller later. But for right now, you can see the thought process for welding one outside corner joint and how the robot handled it. Thanks for watching. Peace.
Okay, so to start programming the robot, we're going to hit the program button. And since I know that 501 is already free, you have to pick an empty space. I will hit enter. And here we go, we have a blank program. Now a good rule of thumb with a blank program is starting off with a name, so we're going to name it first. So we'll hit the function key, and that brings up a submenu. And option 99 is to make a comment. We hit enter, and we name it. Now we'll just name it a bunch of exclamation points. After your program is named, hit complete. There we go. There goes the name of our program. Now, when you have your program, you have to have a starting point, and your starting point should be above whatever it is that you're trying to weld. So there goes our starting point, and we will input our starting point by just hitting record. And that is our starting point, a joint movement. And as you can see, I've added more points to the program, and those points were just to reorient the torch at the angle that I'd like it. Okay, so here is the program that I wrote for welding this outside corner joint. So basically, there's going to be a bunch of joint movements and linear movements, and then as you see here and here, those are the welding, that's the arc start and that's the arc end. So the joint movements will just orient the robot and get it to position. The linear movements, that is the weld itself. Now, why do I have a bunch of linear movements for this weld? Well, that's because the people at OTC Die-In recommend that if you have a weld that's longer than an inch, to have multiple points for linear welds, because things aren't exactly straight. So I'll move up, create a point, move up, create a point, move up, create a point. So let's run through this and see if it crashes or not. Alright, so here is a test of the program to see if it crashes into the robot. Alright, so there goes my joint movements, joint movements, joint movements, kind of excessive, but still learning. And the robot is in position, and linear, 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 joint, and goes right back to the starting point. And that is the program. Okay, so our program is set. We're in playback mode, so we're good to go to rock and roll. Already turned the motors on, so we're good there, and we'll hit start. Oops. Start the counts up.
That is it.
Outside corner joint. Good there. So we get to the top and it starts blowing holes in it. So it gets a little hot, so I gotta adjust those parameters.